Thank you, everyone, for having me here. Thank you, Mr. Simonian. Thank you, Dennis. I'm going to speak a little bit about motivation, and Peter hit on it very well. The things that motivate you, the things that really get your blood moving, those you can use those things as tools to help you succeed academically, to help you move forward in your life, whether it's as a father or a husband. In all of those ways, you can use the things that motivate you as tools to help you succeed in other parts of your life. As I was introduced, my name's Bob Brown. I graduated from Chelmsford High School in 1981, and during my years here, I certainly identified myself as an athlete, specifically a football player. I'd be lying if I told you I didn't make every decision in my life at that time with my football career in mind. When I was entertaining thoughts about where I wanted to go to college, the thoughts were more specifically, where did I want to play football? The NCAA allows prospective Division I athletes the opportunity to officially visit 5 colleges, and that's an official visit when it's a college pays for the travel expenses, lodging, and reasonable entertainment. I was fortunate enough to be considered a Division I prospect, and I used my official visits to visit the University of Alabama, Ohio State, UCLA, Notre Dame, and the University of Pittsburgh. It was no surprise that I ultimately chose the University of Pittsburgh, as they were the highest ranked of those 5 teams at the time, and they had the best offensive line in the country, which I was sure was my ultimate goal and where I would end up being. This probably sounds foolish to students now and to all of you, given that everything you've been told. I'm sure that everybody has heard you need to understand that the odds are not with you with respect to college athletics and potentially beyond. You've been told that only a small percentage of high school athletes manage to start at Division II or III schools, and even a smaller percentage move on to the Division I level. Many will warn you that you need to forget about athletics and make your decision based on any host of other logistical or academic considerations, but certainly with not regard to your sport. Well, I'm here to tell you that although the probability of playing quarterback for the University of Alabama or starting at running back for the New England Patriots is relatively small, your athletic careers are important. They shouldn't be ignored. In fact, they should be embraced. Being part of a team teaches you so many valuable lessons that will shape your behavior, your social interactions, and your self-respect. If you're considering college athletics, the recruiting process, or even the process of deciding yourself where should I play football, or wrestle, or play volleyball, or art, or music, or any of those things, it's exactly like the process of finding a job. You may be recruited, or you may be just on the hunt on your own, but use this time in your life to help prepare yourself for the process later on. Prepare yourself for the coaches' interviews or visits to campus, just as you would a job interview. You want to ask questions and present yourself in a positive manner, just as you would with a potential employer. Understand that you need to place yourself in a position for success. And in order to do that, you need to understand your academic and athletic balance, or in the job scenario, your work and life balance. Once you join the workforce, most of us are driven by what we can provide to ourselves or for our family, and we make money in order to do that. In school, you can use your athletic talents or your musical talents or your writing talents to enable you to provide yourself with an education. In order to do this, when you go to school, you need to ask questions on those visits. You know, what's a team's travel schedule like? How does it factor into your academics of school? How does the coach see you as a fit for the team? How many athletes are being recruited? All of these things. Aside from asking questions, you want to represent yourself well. Dress to impress. It shows that you put time and thought into your trip, and that you appreciate the coach extending himself or herself. Dress nicely, As any coach or HR manager will tell you, how you present yourself can be just as important as your list of qualifications or your speed in the 40-yard dash. Most coaches will look at how you treat your parents, how you talk to other people, and how you talk to your teammates. It may seem small, but it's very important, and it's crucially important to be polite and thankful for your opportunity. As I said earlier, you should use this time in your life to stack the deck in your favor, and you set yourself up for success. Just as in sports, a happy employee is a productive employee, and I'm going to assume that those of you participating in athletics, not a whole lot of them here, but are hoping to continue to do so in the future, participate because it makes you happy. What I think my message is what I'm saying is be happy, enjoy this time in your life, and take advantage of the fruits of your hard work. It's okay to be an athlete, and it allows you to be your motivator. Embrace that and let it fuel your career. Lastly, and I've touched on it already, be honest with yourself and develop your list of questions with honest expectations. As far as being honest with yourself, I think I'm speaking to what Peter was speaking about, and I think my oldest son, Bob, who was a student here, is a great example of what I mean. When Bob was here at Chelmsford High, he was a 3-sport athlete. He was captain of the football team, captain of the wrestling team, and a 3-year starter on the lacrosse team. He was given a good deal of attention from Division II and III coaches in colleges in all 3 sports, but ultimately decided to attend Springfield College and play football. Initially, he seemed happy in school and did reasonably well both academically and athletically, but early during his sophomore year, he began to struggle. His grades dropped and his performance on the field seemed to suffer. He seemed miserable, and I feared he might ultimately not recover. Luckily, at the same time, some of his Springfield lacrosse players that he had become friends with convinced him to come out to fall ball and work out with their face-off guy. He was successful in that role at Chelmsford High School, and those that knew him thought that his reps would help the existing face-off guy, the current starter. What happened eventually pulled Bob out of his downward slide and helped motivate him for what was now a very successful athletic and academic experience at Springfield. You see, Bob wasn't 100% honest with himself. He made all of his college decisions with the expectation that he would play college football. The problem with that was that he ultimately didn't make him happy. He had always enjoyed football here in high school, but it wasn't a passion for him. Bob found the courage to take a look in the mirror and ask himself what was right for Bob, not what was right for me, not what was expected of him, but he did what was right for him. He decided to join the lacrosse team full-time and became their starting face-off specialist. He was happy, he was motivated, and as a result, that motivation led to success in other areas. His GPA in criminal justice shot up. He's now a Chelmsford police officer. His social life flourished. He met the girl that is now his wife and the head field hockey coach here at Chelmsford High School. And his college career was ultimately a success because he was honest with himself, and that motivated him, and he used those things to his advantage. So I'll leave you with the best advice my father ever gave me. Look in the mirror every day, because you can't lie to that person that's looking back at you. And if you don't like what you see, then make some changes. Thank you very much.